Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily Freibler. So today's video, I'm so excited because we're starting a new project and it is brick paneling behind the fireplace. I have some funny clips of when I went to the hardware store and like all the trials and tribulations that happened with this. I got 2 sheets of brick paneling. They are $43 a piece, and they're 4x8 sheets. And long story short, I don't have a vehicle big enough for that. I'm all excited to do this project, and I go to Home Depot by us. I mean, there's multiple by us, but the one that was close to Target. And I'm trying to find someone to talk to about getting these brick panels cut. And so, of course, there's no one in the lumber area at all. I walked through all the aisles trying to find someone. So then I go to this like desk area where there's 2 people sitting, and I say, hey, I just need someone to help me cut these brick panels. And the guy immediately tells me, we don't cut paneling. I'm like, okay. I don't think that makes much sense because they cut plywood. So why wouldn't they cut paneling? I don't know. I just needed to fit in my car. We don't have a huge car, so I needed to fit in here. So I'm gonna go to a different Home Depot that we had cut plywood cut at before and see if they'll do it. If not, I brought my circular saw and I'm gonna cut it in the parking lot. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to do this project, and that would piss me off. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I'm nervous, but I wanna do it, so I'm gonna freaking do it, you know? I freaking did it. Proud is an understatement, you guys. Very proud of myself. Just cut those in the parking lot. Had to make 2 cuts per board. And of course, a guy in the parking lot was watching me, I could tell. I'm in like the back corner of this Home Depot. Like there's no one around me because I didn't want to be bothered. And of course, I saw a guy in a pickup truck just sitting there watching me, and then comes up to me and was like, had his truck running, can't freaking hear him, and he's like, there's some help, there's some help. I'm like, I can't even understand you. And then I'm like, he started getting out of his truck. I'm like, what are you doing? And he said, do you need some help? I'm like, no, obviously not. I'm on literally my last cut. Like, do I need some help? No. Would have been nice if Home Depot, you know, just cut it for me, but I had to take matters into my own hands and cut it in the parking lot. So we did it. All right. I'm so happy, you guys. I was so defeated. Like, I felt like, who am I doing this, you know? But we did it. I should have recorded me cutting it, but you know what? I was nervous and I just wanted to get it done. I'm gonna be bringing this all the way to the ceiling and up this peak here. And then I'm also going to be bringing it down these sides on the side of the mantle here. I figured since I wanna do this in another room, me getting 2 sheets would ensure that I have enough for this project, but then also like I can use it in the other one if I need to. And then also, since there are gonna be seams, what I'm going to do is cut out each of these bricks, and then the other piece will slide in with a full brick so that you just have to fill in the grout and you don't have to cover this seam, because this will be very noticeable when you put the German schmear over top. Like, I don't want that noticeable line, so I'll show you how I'm gonna use my jigsaw to cut these out on each of the panels. Okay, so you see how I made these 2 cuts. So I'm gonna round this out and get this cut. So I'm cutting out all of these half bricks. So then on the other board, the full brick, like one length like this, can slide in, and you just have the grout that we're already gonna fill in anyway. So you don't have like these seams on the full bricks. It looks like it's bricks being laid versus like half bricks. so here we have it. So do you see what I mean now? It's full bricks on each side. And that will be filled in with like basically grout. It's time to attach them. So to attach it, I have liquid nails in a caulk gun. So I'm gonna put this on the back of each panel and line them up. And then, this doesn't have a battery in it yet, but I have my brad nailer here and then a stud finder because I'm gonna put the nails into studs. I have the first set up. Next, I'm going to measure the height of this, and then the height of this, and figure out boards, bring some in here, see how far over they go and stuff. The sides will be decently easy because it'll just be straight edges, other than this part. Obviously, this will be janky with like the jigsaw, but this one will have to cut out the bricks in the jigsaw and then also cut it at an angle. So I got to make sure that angle is good. So I have this long piece and this is going to go up here. And I made my mark here and then we're going to go diagonal across to like here for this one. Okay. All right, I cut this angled piece. Now I need to cut out these bricks and then I can attach it to the wall probably after I do the other piece that'll go next to it. I just wanna make sure they fit perfectly, but it worked, you guys, the angle. It was a little tricky with my straight edge, but I made it work. Okay, so I cut out the half bricks. This will go on like where I showed you, that strip right there. And then I had the thought, since this is already cut at this angle, that other piece might work for this. We'll see, like the other side of this. I'm gonna try and see if that'll work on the wall. Okay, so what I'm thinking is this is already cut at this angle. The only issue is this brick got mangled a little bit on this other side, but then it would already be cut at the angle. So then I would just have to fill in like the square area. So it'd be a little bit easier, I feel like, than cutting this angle again. Shoot. Okay, change of plans. I'm just gonna do one piece that covers this. This is what I get for not triple checking my measurement. I cut the angle slightly off, so this is where I need it to cut on this side, and this side is perfect. So the line is just like barely too big. So I need to go back and cut that real quick, and then this piece will be done. All right, you guys, we're in the home stretch. So my other camera died, so I'm on my phone now. This iPhone 14 cinematic view is really nice. Okay, so I am doing the little slats down the sides now, and so I'm having to do some more intricate cuts. I have to do like probably 2 intricate cuts, and then it's straight cuts, and we're done. And I'm so excited. It's looking so good, you guys. So this was difficult for me because, or in my case, because I had a slanted area and I have to go around the mantle. If you have more like straight lines, this is like so easy, you guys, to just cut everything. Okay, so I did one on each side over here, and I basically measured from here to here, And then I measured from here to here, and then kind of how far down it went. And obviously it's not perfect, but I don't really care about that because like you can't even see it when you're straight on, and I can fill that with that joint compound. And then same thing on this side. So I have probably one more like brick. I might just do one little brick here, so then the rest of it can be just like a sheet, and I don't have to worry about it basically. You guys, I have one more piece, and on this wall will be all paneled, and I just have to put the joint compound on. I'm obsessed with it. It's looking so much like more finished with the ones on the side. Like it makes the mantle pop, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself. Like, what the hell? I've been wanting to do this for like over a year, and it's almost done. All of it's up, and it looks amazing. Oh my God. I'm so excited, you guys. Would you just look at that view? It is time, you guys, to finish up this faux brick. We need to do the German schmear type of thing. Over top of it, I'm using joint compound. I will show you the supplies you need for this part in just a second. Basically, this will be done today, not completely done, because I think I'm going to seal it with poly, just so that it's easy to like wipe down if something were to get on it. And since I'm using joint compound, I think I'm going to. I need to do some research and just make sure that's the right thing to seal it with. So anyway, this is what it's looking like today. Obviously you can see the seams, but I just think these brick color or brick panels have the best color from Home Depot. The ones from Lowe's are way darker, and I think this one gives me like the perfect mid-tone reddish color without being too stark red. So this is the joint compound that I got from Home Depot. I think it was like $16 or maybe $18. I have some gloves, and then I have a bunch of these different size putty type knives. I got these on Amazon a long time ago, so I use them for, you know, different stuff. So that's all the supplies we're gonna need. I'm going to put a sheet over all of this because it's gonna get messy. Also need tape. I need to go grab painter's tape. I'm going to tape off all the edges, the ceiling, and the mantle so that I don't get joint compound on everything, because I am keeping the mantle how it is. And yeah, so I want to be able to fill in. Like, I don't think I'm going to caulk. I think I'm going to try to use the joint compound and like fill in this edge, but also like tape right here so it looks like flush against this. And then same with the ceiling. And then there's hardly a gap down here, but you know, down there as well. And fill in these gaps here as well with the joint compound to make it look a lot more seamless together. I just remembered I need to actually wipe down the brick with a cloth because it was really dusty when I was cutting everything, and I need to do that before I put the joint compound on. So a little bit of prep work is gonna make this honestly look so good. So do the prep work, it'll be okay. So I'm gonna do that real quick. See how dirty this is? And this isn't even the whole wall. So make sure you wipe it down. I'm so glad I didn't forget that step. All right, here goes nothing. This is what it looks like. So I'm just gonna take some. I'm gonna take probably a small amount and then go up on the ladder and we'll see how this goes. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. Okay. So like, see how I want to kind of fill that in? I'll probably use like a razor blade afterwards. And then I might end up taking a cloth to this before it dries to get more off, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm basically just pushing it into the seams like grout. I need to go get more. And then scraping. You can always add more, you guys, so start off slow. All right, so this is what we're looking like. It's drying whiter than I would like. I like it more like the left side that's not dry. So I'm kind of experimenting with taking a rag now that it's like somewhat dry and wiping it off. I might try to lightly sand it as well so I get more of the red, but you have to be very careful because you don't want to sand the actual, like, it's basically paper, you know, like the HDF or whatever it is. Because I want more brick color showing through than I'm seeing right now. So I'm gonna toy around with some stuff and we'll see what technique I like best. All right, this is where we are on the brick. I did all of it with the joint compound. I really like how it looks, but I want more brick color coming through. So I think I'm going to try some sponges with a bucket of water and like barely have any water on it. I'm gonna try it with like barely any water on it and like kind of scrub it off. I have, you know, like the Brillo pad side and the regular side. I'll just be very careful with the Brillo pad side and we'll see if this works to get some more of the joint compound off. All right, so I have a wet sponge and a dry sponge and I'm gonna try going like this. Oh yeah, that's working. Let's try, oh, that's so much better. Try this side. That's like the Brillo pad side. Oh yeah, that's better. So I shouldn't have let the joint compound dry before taking off the tape. Should have like waited a little bit, but not as long as I did. I waited overnight and it is proving very difficult to take this off. It doesn't look bad or anything, but I think I'll probably still caulk around this edge. But since there is like chunks here, it's like not coming off easily. So I should have pulled the tape off way sooner. So I'm taking this and kind of scraping it off and that, but being very careful of the paint. I did rip a little bit of the paint. I do have a very close color to this, so I will just go over this. And then I also have a box cutter too, but be careful if you're using this to cut the tape. So this is taking way longer than it should to get this off. So don't do what I do, or what I did. I think in hindsight, I should have taped it, pulled it off after I was done doing everything. So like, obviously I didn't want it to get on the walls, pull it off, and then later go in and caulk. I think that would have been a better idea. Alrighty, all the tape is off. It's looking great. The only thing is there's some gaps in there. Part of the issue I had is I put the tape too close to the brick, even though I knew I needed to fill in the gap because mine's at like an angle. If you have a wall where it's literally butting up against it, you won't have this issue, you won't have this gap, but I have a gap here. See how there's like a gap there, and I want to fill that in. So I think I'm gonna take some of the joint compound in a Ziploc bag and literally like pipe it on here and then smooth it with my finger, kind of like caulk, and get in some of those areas. This one worked out perfectly because it was just a 90-degree angle and it filled in perfectly. Mine is just harder because, I have that big, huge gap here to fill in. So that is the next step, but that was super messy, so I gotta clean this up before I finish. But dude, it looks so stinking good. I'm so proud of this. All right, you guys, I did fill in the cracks. I used it basically like caulk and just filled it in. Obviously, it's not perfect. I'm gonna probably go in with paint or something and like touch it up, but it does look kind of like, rustic, just like the Fireplace does. Really don't think it looks bad by any means, but it definitely looks better with the seams over there filled in. It looks a lot better. All right, you guys, it has been a few weeks since I finished the fireplace. I was thinking I was going to seal the fireplace. I thought it might be a good idea just because, you know, what if something spills on it? But then I tried some polyacrylic on the fireplace on the bottom, and it didn't change the color that much, but I'm just worried that it's gonna change the look of it, getting it kind of like wet with the polyacrylic. So I've decided I'm not gonna seal it. You definitely can seal it. I would recommend using polyacrylic and not polyurethane because polyurethane yellows over time and we put this beautiful like white wash on it and you don't want it to yellow. So I'm gonna leave it how it is. I love how it turned out. I'm gonna do a little before and after for you guys, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure please to subscribe to my channel for future videos, and I will see you guys in video very, very soon. Bye guys.